Hi moms, this is your girl Chastity with Roadmap to Balance for Moms. The music in the background, I don't own the rights to. That's my girl Tori Kelly. I love her music. First, I wanted to just come on here and just saying, hope you guys are still reading Psalms 91 with me, because I'm doing it daily with my kiddos. We're taking turns reading it out loud as a family to get us through, and we're going to continue to read it. Once all this coronavirus stuff clears up, we're going to continue to read it. It's going to be a family tradition we're adopting. Also, I wanted to talk about some additional things, like some things you can do, like as far as keeping a schedule with your kids, especially if you're working from home, because our kids are out of school for the next 2 weeks or even longer. We just don't even know, what the plans are, or what's going to occur regarding school-wise. So I kind of want to just share some of the things that I'm doing with my kids while I'm at home with them, working from home with them, and then other things too that I'm doing at home. So basically what we're doing is I'm letting them sleep in a little bit, but I'm waking them up at 9 o'clock. But I get up at 5 o'clock and I log on for work, and I'm working. So I try to, log on for work a little earlier so I can get some things accomplished that I need to get accomplished while they sleep in. So I let them sleep in to 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock, we're waking up. I have them wake up, they eat breakfast. And then after they get done eating breakfast, I have them make up their bed, clean their rooms, get those, things done of that nature. Now my kids range from ages 8 up until, we have an adult son that's 21 too. So then after, that 9 o'clock wake up from them getting dressed, eating breakfast, making up their bed, different things of that nature. Then we try to do something a little bit active, whether it be yoga, or we may take a walk, or we may just do something active for about 30 minutes or so. And I have like some little DVDs that we may do, or I have some hula hoops. We may go out in the yard and do the hula hoops for a few minutes just to kind of get the blood flowing, get them fully awake, because they're still kind of a little bit drowsy, like, no, do we really have to do this? But yes, you do. We're going to still be on a schedule. Just because you're out of school, you're still going to be doing stuff. So then after that, we go into academic time, where they're doing their academics because their teachers did send them home with homework that they need to get accomplished before they come back to school, whenever school goes back into effect. So I have them work on their homework, and I'm there, making sure that they get their homework done while I'm still working. So everything throughout this time period, I'm still working. So, but I'm making sure that they're, doing what they're supposed to do as far as homework wise. I'm checking it, making sure, like if they say that they're done with a math sheet or a reading sheet, I go and check it and make sure that they've done it right or whatever. Or if it's one of my older kids that are 16 and 17, because math is not my subject, but English is. English was my subject, so I'm really good at English. But math, that's my husband's subject, so I'll let him handle the math part. But I'll check what I can, what I'm pretty good at, and then I'll let my husband check what he can, as regarding the math, because that's his subject. And then after we do the not the creative time, but the academic time, we go into something creative where I let them draw, or they can play with Legos, or they'll play Uno, or they'll just do something creative outside of the box. Now, all of this going on, we don't have no electronics, so no phones, none of that. This is they're thinking outside the box, so they're not using their cell phones, because we know our kids these days are programmed to use their cell phones for every single thing. And so I'm trying to get them out of that, where they always have to depend on their cell phones, because they all do have cell phones. So we go into creative time where they're doing something creative. They can draw, or if they want to they haven't done anything baking wise, but that's not out of the box yet, because it's just now Tuesday, so they can do something, of that nature. So I do let them make choices as to what they want to do. So I'll give them 2 choices, and they can decide what they want to do out of those 2 choices that I give them. And then after that, we go into lunch. In regards to lunch, my teenagers, they love to cook, and they're 16 and 15. So I let them cook because they want to cook. So that gives me more time to work. So I can work during that time, and I'll sit down in the kitchen with them while I'm working, and they'll cook. So they like to do that type of stuff, so I allow them to cook. They're cooking, it may be something where they may make a salad, or, you know, I try to tell them, I do critique what they cook, meaning that, okay, I'll say, let's do something healthy. Like if they're gonna do some chicken, or if it's, let's say a sandwich or anything like that, I try to make sure that they incorporate fruits, veggies. Like if it's going to be a sandwich, make sure they add lettuce and, you know, some vegetables with it, to try to make it to incorporate all the healthy foods, the fruit, the veggie, the meat, the bread, everything into it, and then a healthy snack with it too. And then after that, we go into chore time. They all have chores. The 8-year-old has chores too. Yes, he does. His chores are minimal, but he still has chores, because we want our kids to learn responsibility, and to learn to be self-sufficient and not dependent. So they all have chores, and so I may not have them do all their chores. I may have them just do one chore, just because we're on a time schedule. So they may do one chore for that day, and then the next day they do a different chore for that day. Like I said, just because of the timing of the schedule. And then after we do chores, we'll go into, I give them the option to have their electronics, or they can do take a nap or something like that. So like my daughter, my 10-year-old, she likes to take naps. So she'll take a nap, and then my teenagers, they want to get on their phone. And so I give them that option for that time period. So I let them do that, and they'll take that time to take that nap or to be on their phone. And that's kind of like their time to just decompress, I guess. And I'm still working, so I'm able to manage that while I'm working. And then after that, we go back into academic time. So I cut the academic time into 2 time frames, because this allows them to not be so focused on schoolwork all day long. Because I know that while they're in school, I know that they do the academics. I'm not going to say all day long, but they have it to where it's designed where they change classes. From what they told me, they change classes. So I'm trying to keep it to where it's kind of similar, but it's not exactly how they do it. But I try to keep it as close as I can to it, except for the chore part, because they don't have chores at school. And then after the academic time in the afternoon, we will do something else that's like active. Like I would say, like we may like go outside and, I don't know, do something they want to do. They might let them play a sport, because we got a little basketball thing outside. Let them play basketball. Or I know my daughters, they like to take walks, so we'll take a walk, another walk. Or like I said, we have the jump ropes. We can do jump ropes, anything of that nature. And then we'll do that for a little bit to get their blood going again, to basically tire them out, so that they're, you know, they feel like they're going to school, to tire them out basically. And then after that is pretty much dinner time. And normally, because we don't have a traditional household, my husband does do dinner. But my kids have been helping out with dinner, because my husband did just have surgery. So that's been altered a little bit. So we've been working around that, trying to do alternate dinner ways. That's been changed. So I'm just gonna say it's gonna be dinner time. And then after that part, then I allow them free time, where they can get their showers and different things like that. And they're allowed to play video games. So if they want to do video games, they can do that. And then after that, it's pretty much bedtime. But my teenagers, they stay up a little bit later than my 8 and 10-year-old, because they are older. So their bedtime fluctuates. So it's not like they all have the same bedtime. So depending on your kids' ages, you can pretty much rearrange your schedule how you want to do it. But I just wanted to share my schedule, because my kids ranges from 8 up until I'm gonna say 16, because the 21-year-old, he's really not a kid. So I mean, I can't include him in the school schedule piece, because he's not even in school. So in regards to making a schedule for your kids, you have to kind of base it around their lifestyle, and you got to base it on, you know, what fits, what works for them and what works for you and what works for your work schedule, especially if you are working from home. And so you just got to figure out and see what maturity level your kids are at too, and see what how they function on an independent level, or if they're more reliant on you. I know for my kids are more independent, and they don't really rely on me as much as they did when they were younger. So I can kind of do a lot of just monitoring for them, and so that's just kind of how it's been working out. So, which is great. That's a blessing. But I still want to encourage moms to continue to read Psalms 91 with your family, with your kiddos, and just, you know, stay prayed up. Keep your faith, and I love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Please share this video, so that other moms can definitely, you know, get some ideas, and so that other moms can just kind of see, you know, how they want to do their schedule and how they want to change up their schedule. So thank you guys for tuning in. Love you guys. Take care.